The federal government purchased the land at Cedar Point, 6,412 acres for $712,000, just over $100 an acre, and began construction on April 4th, 1942. Mr. Dyson received $500 for his 6 acres. By 1950, the Navy had radically reconfigured the landscape. Construction activities were so intense that pilots taking off from Andrews Air Force Base and headed to Pax were told, just get up there and look for the clouds of dust and go in that direction. And between 1942 and 1950, the county's population doubled as workers came from elsewhere. The Navy understood the critical problem on its hands, but objected to recommendations from Washington that called for the construction of temporary housing. Instead, the Navy set aside a parcel of land just outside its gate in a community then known as Jarbosville, and proceeded to build one of the first planned residential communities in southern Maryland. I mean, we lose sight of the significance of the Flattops because it has a different life in our day to day. I mean, they're sort of coming out of World War II, and they're experimenting. The country is very optimistic, and this experimentation in architecture reflects that. And you see that in the Flattops. The architecture of the Flattops was thoroughly modern, suggesting this patriotic optimism expressed by these expansive windows that look out from the building's main facades. Now, Doug Medley, who lived in the Flattops as we know them now from 1944 until 1957, told us that a lot of people say, you know, they were kind of dumpy looking, but I'm telling you, it was home to all of us, and it was like a castle to us. You know, it really was. Everybody was happy to live there. And by the way, these oral histories weren't collected by my students, but they were collected as part of the demolition of the Flattops. The Historic Preservation Law had asked for these stories to be recorded. So we've got some amazing stories from the Flattops.